Good enough for government work. You got it. Don't show your face. Terrible. 6-pack in every fridge. And this is what we talk about. Good enough for government work. A 6-pack in every fridge. And the death at 50 plan. You want to be a fucking leader? You got to come up with something on your own. There's no way you can be a king, let alone a god, if you don't have something to say that nobody else has said. The death at 50 plan. There, you want to run a country? How about we hear about something? Give us something to be excited about. You know. Everybody knows. Oh, no, not everybody knows. Just the educated people know. Whereas the people that are paying the taxes, they're not aware. The only reason they're voting for anybody is because it's a big scam. All you got to do is infrastructure and you'll get voted in. Every senator, every congressman, every government, every governor. Just give them streets and sewage. Yet for some reason they wait until their fiscal year's about done and then they just damn lock down all the roads to make the roads better. It's infrastructure. 6-pack in every fridge, infrastructure, and the death at 50 plan. See, this is exciting to me. Because I'm over 50 and I'm ready to go. No hurry. I mean, I'm ready. You know, it's called planning ahead. It's like having your bags packed. It's like sitting there waiting for them to call you out in the 82nd Airborne Division to go anywhere in the world in 18 hours. Being on the ground, fighting and winning. You're supposed to have your bags packed. That's where I'm at. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I'm over 50. Yet, I do not hold that death at 50 plan on people that are already 50 when I become president. There's going to be a grandfather clause. I'm a grandpa. I've got a clause. So we'll take it back to the 20-year-olds, whatever it is, the way I look at it, and see that's a class I had once where we had to say something, and you weren't supposed to be held accountable for your beliefs and what you had to say. And I wrote this paper. And Kimberly Massey, great teacher, gave me good accolades, as well as her husband, Stanley Barron, did. Got me a scholarship while we were training in England. And she gave me like a C or a C minus on this paper. She was not happy with it. Even death at 50 plan. I figure if we're gonna do away with overpopulation. The Chinese have gotten a start because there are so many of them. It's such a big mainland. There are so many of them. They had the right idea with what they were doing by one child, one family. But then they had what they called the small wonder, which was a girl being born. They say that's a small wonder. That's what I learned in my, what do you call it, East Asian Modern History class at Michigan State with the teacher that stuttered. It's funny. I'm pretty close to having a stutter, but I'm just pausing to think. Richie, why do you talk so slow? That's what Miss Romanowski said to me. And I watch this stuff, and I've been told by foreigners in the past, through time, they're like, it's very good that you talk the way you do. I can hear what you are saying. I talk slower. I take the words, and that's what they do in the Middle East too. That's the idea. You're supposed to talk slow. If you talk slow, you talk with meaning. And this is just a natural thing for me. Well, because I had brain damage. But why do you talk so slow? One love, one way. Let's talk to everybody, you know. And so, give me a minute. I'm right back. Baby? Yeah. What was I talking about? Oh, government. Thank you. Okay, government. And that's it. We have a 6-pack in every fridge. And all this stuff. And Death at 50 plan. Death at 50 plan. Everybody's like, who? When I wrote this paper about the Death at 50 plan, I got it back from Kim Massey. She's like, C-. I'm like, it wasn't supposed to be about what you felt about this at all. This was supposed to be an idea paper. My idea is that we're having the Chinese having one child, one love, and what they do in the process with their little girls that are small wonder, they just throw them in the ditch, and then they have another kid, or they send them off to the grandparents and let them be raised, or they send them to the whorehouse. They've got all kinds of places to send the baby girls. And so now they've got all these boys, and there are no girls to marry, because you can't marry a whore. You can't marry your grandma's children. You can't marry the dead baby in the ditch. So there's got to be a better way. It's the Death at 50 plan when I'm president. By the time you're 50 years old, if you know having a grandfather clause thing coming in, if you're 50 years old, you already know you've had time to have your education and your love and your children. Let's just make mechanical beasts out of us all. Let's just have us populate and die. we can have it, all this happen. By the time you're 50 years old, you're old enough to have had a grandchild and seen your children grow and done everything you can do with your career. And on your 50th birthday, they come in and go, whack! There's a cake on the table. You're sitting there. The whole family's there. Little kids, the grandkids, grown kids, your children. And all these people are standing around. Yuck! Get stuck in the back of the neck with some kind of syringe. Kill ya. Happy birthday. Your last breath blows out the candles. Death at 50 plan. And so there it is. I've had this stuff set up for years. A 6-pack in every fridge. That's not insurmountable. I know from the time that I spent broke, standing across the road from a bar saying, geez, I wish I had just enough money to go in and buy a beer. That the idea of having enough money to buy a beer makes you a real person here in this world. I was just getting back from China in 2004. That's a very interesting thing too. I was born at just the right time to be a record breaker. That damn thing went out. I thought it would be fun. Because I was 34 at the time of the elections when I came back from China in 2004. Yes. I had just turned, I was 34. And you have to be 35 to be president. You have to be 30 to be a senator, and I think you have to be 25 to be a congressman. That's the way the law is set up. I knew these things at the time because I was paying attention. I had a plan. You know, I look like the kind of guy with a plan. And there, I knew I would only be 34 when it came time to the presidential elections. And I asked in the government class, I said, if I am 34, because I turned 35 in November, late November, and the presidential elections happen in the beginning of November. I said, if I'm 34 when the elections take place and I win, as long as I'm 35 by the time of the inauguration, does that make me okay? And the guy's like, and he put some thought into it and he said, yes. I said, well, that'll do. And I thought that me, a guy that was going to be 34 when he got elected president, everybody would vote for me. They'd say, we set a record. That's all anybody wants to do is set records. We set a record. We made the youngest president ever. It would be hard to beat me. Having been a president-elect at 34 and being around at 35 when the inauguration happened. And I was going to do it under what I called the inaugural party. You just get to make up your own name, right? The same way as the Whigs and the Republicans did. We just make up a name. I was the inaugural party. And on the day of the inaugural party, the day that I got inaugurated, we'd call it the day of the inaugural party, and we'd have Alice Cooper up there singing "Elected." I'm gonna be elected, and all this stuff. Who I really wanted them, but they sold everything to "We Won't Get Fooled Again," to David Kelly, that guy that was in NYPD Blue or whatever, and then became part of the CSI thing. What a load of crap. I had it all worked out. We were gonna change everything. I was ready to say, it's time to make a difference. Because I am the trainable mentally handicapped. I can learn what it takes to be a leader of a nation. Who can't? Any moron walking down the street can just go, yeah. And I could do it. I could do it. I could do a much better job of it. I hate every food I've ever eaten. I can't stand Chinese food. It makes me retch. But I don't puke on people when I eat it. I can be anywhere doing anything. I can eat owls like Rambo in the woods. Just a dirty old dead owl. I can get by. So I can be a good leader. All you need to do is give me an idea what you want me to do, and hope that I follow it. Death at 50 plan. Thing is, here we come around again. It might be time to make a change. See, that's the thing that happened when I got back from China in 2004. It was already happening. I said, well, all I wanted to do is see something get different. And then they elected a black man as president without his birth certificate. I'm starting to wonder if he even had a driver's license. How can you have a driver's license without a birth certificate? Secretary of State, DMV, they're very upset about this stuff. Was he driving around? Should have put him in jail. But he was changing things up. And I thought that was enough. And then I realized after that, they just changed it up enough so they could hope that he'd fuck everything up. And he didn't fuck everything up. He did what every one of them before him has ever done. He just kept things in line to fuck us up. And didn't fuck anything up. So I was there to give you the opportunity to be a hero and vote for the youngest president ever. Somebody that would turn 35 by January, which I did have a dream in that year where I was walking down the street, and everybody's like, hey, president-elect. I was 34. I'm like, yeah, Yeah, I kept running into people. Everybody was excited. But then he came in and I said, screw it. And now it might be time to change things up again. A 6-pack in every fridge. And the death at 50 plan. Don't worry, it's grandfathered in. You get to stay here forever. It's your children that you get to see die. Isn't that what everybody wants? That's not truly what everybody wants.